necesitaba pedir un favor. Seguimos monitorando la
What we used to do, we've had periods where we marched around the Capitol building with whistles, saying, blow the whistle on Albany. Now, to be honest with you, I'm ready to do that again. Does anyone else think it's a good idea? We'll bring the whistles and the bullhorns because, in all honesty, I'm just outraged about the devaluation of people with developmental disabilities, as Mrs. Goodman was outraged when they told her her daughter might live another couple of months. We're in a crisis situation. We've been disrespected year after year after year after year, and I think enough is enough. So let's count today as day number 1 of enough is enough, okay?
Any other comments from our advocates? I want to recognize Joyce White, who is absolutely a phenomenal person in terms of providing services. Not just to Luminaires, not just to East Harlem, not just to Brooklyn. She's an exemplary example of the kind of services that can be provided by our agency. So thank you, Joyce.
And just say good morning. You guys
Yes,
know I'm
please.
here every year. I'm downstate representing Metro New York DSO, Manhattan, and the Bronx. And I bring you greeting on behalf of my director, Cheryl Mitchell Brooks, to see me if you have questions. You know I'm
Joyce is amazing. And it arrived late, but before you leave for your next workshop, in the back is coffee and a little breakfast. So just wanted to mention that. So.
And I am a direct care worker for the last 30 years for AHRC, an agency I proudly work for. I have watched people with disabilities be treated in such a way that at one time you could say they were adults. We are quickly regressing in the field. We are not progressing, we are regressing. We are starting to do institutionalized Willowbrooks within people's homes when you do Day Have Without Walls. I have a Day Have Without Wall worker here with me. When we say day ed programs are not valuable, it's not true. It's valuable because when the families are tired or they need another advocate, it's the direct care worker who does that. There are families who drop their brother and sister off and say, I don't know what else to do. It's us who gives them that quality care, the love that they need. We are professionals, not babysitters. We've watched our guys grow, have outside jobs, come back, bring their whole families. I work with a population who has 1 foot in one world and 1 foot in another world. And so it's difficult for them to balance. And so I sit here and I ask OPWDD, why? Why is day ed programs not valuable? When they were in a day ed program and they did workshop, which is now we can no longer do, we have to say it's pre-vocational training. Not everybody's gonna make it on the outside, but when they were inside working and doing manual labor and they were making some money, they were those consumers who would go out and buy a cell phone. My clients taught me how to use my iPhone 6, okay? That's the truth. Whatever new gadget comes out, they know about it. I've watched women who I work with that are independent individuals, who are now working for MTA because they had to come back and train at a day ed program. I've watched direct care workers be attacked for those who've had mental health issues. I know I was one. And I came who was upset because they were in Willowbrook, got put into a residence and family walked away and moved downtown. We were the only family they had. We're not valued enough by the government to say that we're doing the right thing, and we do the same thing every day, and we're created more and more right. And there we have to be paranoid about the justice system. The justice system who now says, I'm a criminal. Because I was busy taking care of a client who got left on a bus. I know that happened to my vice president, she's sitting here. 18 months she fought for her job to get back. And the agency said, come back. But their hands were tied because the Justice Center said, no, you can't come back. Meanwhile, she was taking care of a client who was going off on the bus, and another client was curled up. She said when she got back upstairs, and wasn't even on their community's outing sheet, I can't find so-and-so.
So before I move to the next question, I want to
I don't want to get cut off because I think this is important, and I'd really be appreciated if we did that. But at this point, we have to look at the fact that there is no trended money. There is no COLA money. The minimum wage is going up, and there's no compression money for the direct care worker. I have members who work 2 jobs in order to meet their rent in the poorest borough within the 5 boroughs of the Bronx, who have 2 children, and their median rent is $1,500 a month. We can't cut that off, and we can't say, okay, I want to go to the next question, because all of these things are very important and valuable. And Ms. Addie's going to get on me, because I love you. Yes,
well, I want to make sure that these folks have an opportunity to address the point that you made about day ed program, the wage issue up to a living wage. So I think that one, we didn't cut you off because we didn't hear you.
But we have to talk about compression money. It's not there.
But I want to make sure that we touch the other 2 points because there were a lot of different points in your statement. So
I'm sorry.
day ed and
I have another
residential
workshop, so
clusters.
I'm going to excuse myself.
Yeah, thank you, Assemblyman. I do want to say that housing has certainly been an issue we've heard long for many years. We do have the most robust housing system in the nation. 37,000 individuals have certified housing. About another 4,000 have apartment rentals. We do know that that's not necessarily enough. The legislature a couple of years ago was very generous, and they gave OPWDD some money to go through and to try and reach out to every single person on that list, which was about 11,000 people that had indicated that sometime in the future they would like a housing opportunity. And I think we've got some data from that. I don't think we'd have been able to pull together all the data had we not had the money from the legislature to do that in a quick period of time. You can't do that over 5 years because it's changing literally as the days go by. But I think we do recognize that there needs to be some more investments into certified housing. And one of the things that we are committed to doing, and that was put forth in this budget, and we talked about during our budget testimony to the legislature, is that we do have the data now to start looking forward to make long-range plans, and we believe that we're going to need to add, I believe, about 4,900 opportunities over the next 3 years. And so we're going to make plans to start putting out some more certified opportunities if when the budget gets approved. If the funding is still in there, we are going to go forward, and we are going to increase our capacity with individual IRAs, what typically people call group homes. So we are going to start to build more and more of those. So I think that's some good news that's coming out. We're starting to turn the corner in the direction, but we finally have the data really to start making good projections into the future. So, thank you.
This young lady over in the back had her hand raised.
Long time, but I enjoy what I do. The only thing, the staffing ratio, you have that as one of the bullets on the agenda. The staffing ratio is very low. Morale is very low. Pay is very low. Even though I've been there 37 years, I really don't make that much money. I was working 2 jobs. I was working a recreational Saturday program for 10 years, which I had to stop because I'm taking care of my granddaughter from time to time now. But I feel that we need to raise the salaries of direct care staff if you want to get the quality people in there to help with these clients. I love what I do. I wouldn't do it if I didn't. So please consider raising the salaries. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, go ahead.
My name is Lorraine Guest. I work at UCP NYC, I was formerly working for FEGS for 28 years, and now I work for UCP. But we are losing a lot of staffing because of salaries. I have people coming out of college with a bachelor's degree that started making $14 an hour. This is ludicrous. You come out of college with a 4-year degree, you have school loans, you cannot survive on $14 an hour. They are leaving left, right, and center. They're really, really good workers, and they love the individuals that we service, but they cannot survive on $14 an hour with a bachelor's degree, and they have school loans up to these two. And you live in New York State, the 5 boroughs, the rent's outrageous. How can you survive? That's the only point I want to make.
appreciate what you do, and we need to get more families involved. The point I quickly made to the room, I want to thank the Assemblyman for his interest. The truth is, as parents and as families, the Assembly, frankly, has been with us. If we ask them for something, you have, been with us, and, I think everybody appreciates. We beat up on you because, frankly, I love Greg, I talk to him often, I listen to him, but our problem is really from on top, there is a lack of leadership from the governor who understands, we understand budgets, and the fact is, families want to be involved in the discussion. If we're going to redesign and transform, we want to be part of that so that we get what we need. We have workers who are not being paid, but the fact is, one of the issues, you put a lot of money into the system, you're right, they spend it, we sometimes don't know where it goes, to be honest, and that's an issue from around. So, but I want to thank you as a citizen for, hosting this and for having, frankly, been with us, and I know we'll make sure he stays with us.
It's probably a good opportunity to thank all the panelists for being here, and certainly thank our agencies and Greg. This is probably the first year in like 6 years that you've actually had some good news from me for a change, So I appreciate that and recognize that this is, an important step. So I do thank you all for being here and the hard work. And I remember when we created the Justice Center. So all of that is not unnoticed, even though you come back every year and we beat up on you a little more. So thank you. We're closing up. This is it. You're closing us, Ms. Willie Mae.
Okay, we can close up. First of all, I still thank everybody. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to ask the Justice Center and what the young lady? Questions. What I would like to recommend is that the parents here, we should try to set up another conference that the time is not limited, that we can get answers to our questions, because a lot of people came up here to discuss their concerns. And I came up here to discuss my concerns, and I haven't been able to discuss my concerns.
We can talk
Wait, be quiet. You had your time to discuss it, because my concern and interest in the Justice Center, what their procedures, and when they come up to, when a person's name has been submitted to you, why does it take you so long to give them answers and results? And a lot of times they turn the people back to work and the person have done something. The other thing, see, in this group we got people who have different groups or different needs. We have children in residential needs are different from the people who are at home and people in private agencies. And I have a lot of concern. It's not working, Robert. The governor is not being fair to us. Our children are going back to the Willowbrook days, although we're in residential. But in Willowbrook days, we have no staff. They float people they floating people from one end to another. The training is, pardon my French, is piss poor. So I think what we should do is, as we always do, I knew him ever since he was a kid, okay? So he has to do what I tell him to do. So what I would like to do as a parent is to have Robert and Perkins and a lot of the legislators get with us, and we tell them what we want and what our needs are, and tell them when they go to the governor, this is what the parents want, not what OPWDD. Called OPWDD is, that is my recommendation. Would you do that for us? Okay.
I think for those of you who may not remember, about, was it a year ago that we did the meeting with Perkins on 125th Street in the Harlem State Office building? We had a packed house. And I think OPWD got the benefit of like the minutes of that meeting. How many pages was it? It was kind of scary, right? Yeah. But I think that's the point, is that there are a lot of folks with a variety of different needs who really need to express that. And I think we're going to host something in the city, and we certainly hope you'll participate, because I think, you know, while this year looks a little bit better in the budget, there's still some needs that have to be met.
You all should ask Robert, when is he going to get the governor to meet with us?
I think we'll extend the invitation, and certainly I think we'll get the commissioner, maybe Commissioner Delaney, to come out.
If I may, just a suggestion. Part of what has happened over the years is there's this effort on the part of the state to create a task force that's oftentimes a forum where they try to go around the boroughs and the state and have what they call meetings where they control the agenda and they determine how long you get to speak for. I say we do a parent task force where the assemblymen will help organize that forum, and it's the parents and the advocates who are the ones setting the agenda and determining how often you get to speak. And let us sort of tell you what our needs are, as opposed to you telling us what you think we need and what you can afford. So that may be something we should think about going forward.
I try to remind people, government is about people, and we all work for you. So with that, I want to thank you all for being here and beginning to share your concerns, and I look forward to hosting something in the city and hearing more of them.
You did great. You did great.